Hello, welcome to the Kitchen Spy. My name is Kate and this is combination video really, so it's got some meal ideas in here, but it's also got a little bit about our holiday in Cardigan, which is the first holiday we've had this year because of lockdown, and also at the end, and I'll bookmark that down below, there's a little bit about Jess, and obviously that is the reason I've not been around for a couple of weeks. So I thank you for your patience, and I also in the time I was away I got quite a lot of new subscribers because the lovely Cheryl at What's for Tea gave my channel a shout out, so thank you Cheryl for that, and welcome to all you lovely new subscribers. I really appreciate it. This is not a normal video, this is just me getting back into what I like to do, so I hope you enjoy the video, and thank you all very much for watching. Okay, so this is a turkey meatball recipe. It's really simple, and what I've got here on a plate is 1 onion finely chopped, 2 carrots finely chopped, 2 celery sticks again finely chopped, and 4 cloves of garlic. And then I've got 2 cans of chopped tomatoes and some oregano, and then basically this is for the sauce and the meatballs, and I'm also going to use 500 grams of minced turkey. So to make the meatballs, you just put the spices, which are 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and the garlic into a big bowl, and then you just mix that through with the turkey mince, and I use the turkey breast mince, so that keeps the calories right down. And then once you've done that, you just need to roll them into these meatballs, which are kind of walnut sized balls. And that's as simple as that is, and what I tend to do then is I just pop those in the fridge while I'm doing the rest of the sauce, and the rest of the sauce is just, well, it just couldn't be more simple really. So we take the onion and the carrots and the celery, and we mix it all in with the tinned tomatoes and the oregano, and then when that comes up to a kind of rolling boil, we just need to pop the meatballs into the sauce and give it a big old stir as we're doing here. So when I first saw this recipe, I thought it was a bit weird having cinnamon and cumin in meatballs that I was going to serve with pasta, but actually it works really well, and they almost have, it's really difficult to describe, but it almost has a kind of citrus flavour about the meatballs, and the sauce is just so light, it just feels really good to eat. I tend to generally ruin the great calorific content by having some massive portion of pasta, but there you go. Anyway, so once the meatballs are in, just pop the lid on and keep them bubbling away until the meatballs are cooked all the way through, and in the meantime just cook your pasta, and I am using gluten-free pasta here. So yes, I've just leave that to bubble till the pasta's ready, and then we'll serve it up. What I wanted to do in the meantime was talk to you about Parmesan, and you guys know that I'm always keen on reducing calories, so I just wanted to show you, well, it's not a trick really, it's just what I do to make things go further and feel like you're having more cheese. Is I've grated into this bowl, on the thin side of the grater, some Parmesan, and as you can see there's quite a lot there, but that's actually only 50 grams worth of Parmesan. Now Parmesan is about, I think it's 104 calories for 25 grams, but what I tend to do is I'll grate 50 into the bowl like this, and then I'll just put it in the fridge with some cling film on, and I use about a quarter of that on any pasta dish. So that actually comes to 52 calories, but it just, I think just having the finer grater just makes it feel like you're getting more for your money, and it more for your calories as well. So here it is all served up. So it makes 4 portions this, and the sauce and the meatballs come to 257 calories, but because I had some Parmesan, and also because I had a huge portion of pasta, which was 100 grams dry weight of pasta, but I am prepared to spend that much calories on pasta because I love it, so this bowl was 677. So when I freeze things, I freeze them in boxes, and I always label everything because I don't like the kind of the jeopardy of not knowing what's in boxes in the freezer. So I always put what it is, when I made it, how many portions, and how many calories per portion, and that way I know exactly what I'm getting out of the freezer. So this is a sun holiday, so this is lunch at the caravan. So this was a roast dinner, so new potatoes, roast pork, crackling green vegetables, and I couldn't get any fresh peas, so these are tinned peas, but I love marrow fat tinned peas, and gluten-free Yorkshire puddings. So I don't know how many calories this was because we're on holiday and I'm not counting this week, but I do normally. And then this was another meal we had. So we had gluten-free sausages, well, they're chipolatas, a couple of fried eggs, and just some oven chips. And I know this looks like a really simple meal, and it is, but it was absolutely delicious as well. So we really enjoyed eating this. So yeah, so our caravan is in Cardigan, and Cardigan is on Cardigan Bay, which is on the west of Wales, and this is a little town called Aberaeron or Aberaeron, and these are some facts about the town. And one of the facts is that, did we know that Aberaeron is further north than anywhere in the United States except Alaska? No, I did not know that, but that's quite interesting, I suppose. I hadn't really thought about it, but anyway, that was just a little sign with some facts on. So Aberaeron is a port town, so it's not a huge port or anything, but there's lots of leisure yachts and things here normally. Because of lockdown, weirdly, most of the yachts were still in the car park because they take them out of the port during the winter, and they were still in that car park. So it just seemed a little bit weird actually, and quite eerie. So here's the town. It's a very colourful town, so each of the houses tends to be painted a different colour to its neighbour, and that just makes it really beautiful. It's a Georgian town on the West Wales of coast, as I've said. West coast of Wales. So if you're ever in the area, it's definitely worth having a look around Aberaeron. It is really, really beautiful town. And that big blue building there is the Harbour Master, which is a pub and restaurant and makes delicious food. This wasn't actually at the Harbour Master, this was at a little cafe in the town, and it did feel really bizarre. You know, this was the first time we've really been out since lockdown, but we stopped and we had some breakfast, and we were allowed to eat outside. You know, cafes are allowed to serve outside, so we ate outside, and I had scrambled eggs with bacon, and my husband had the same, but with smoked salmon. Oh, this video feels a bit all over the place. I've forgotten what I do. Anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm making a potato salad. So I've got some Jersey Royals in the pan there. I've got some cherry tomatoes, some spring onions, and some green beans. So what I do is I boil the potatoes, and then just towards the end of the cooking time, I just pop in the green beans. And then when that's done, just drain it out, and then just pop in some mayonnaise. So this is extra light mayonnaise. I'm not counting calories, but normally I would, and so I'll give you the calories for what the normal recipe is for this. And then once you've done that, you just mix everything through with the mayonnaise, the green beans, the spring onions, and the tomatoes. And this is a really, really lovely recipe, and it's one we have quite often. So we eat the potato salad warm, and I've served it here with a slice of salmon, and altogether that's 523 calories. The potato salad comes in at 252 calories per portion. So on one of the other days we went into a town called Cardigan. In Welsh it's called Aberteifi, and this is the River Teifi. So we tend to park up at a wildlife centre, which is about 1.5 miles outside the town, and then we walk in. It just gives your legs a stretch, and when we got Jess, it was good to keep her occupied as we went into the town. And so the first time ever, because we hadn't got a dog, sadly, we were able to go into Cardigan Castle. So we went in, and it was lovely, and I would heartily recommend it if you're ever in Cardigan. So I think 1176 is when the castle was started to be built, and it's got a really lovely Georgian manor house in the grounds, which you'll see in a minute. And we had some food here as well. It was only £6 each to get into the castle. So £6 each, and that lasts for a year. So you keep your ticket, and then for the next year you can actually go as often as you like. And I think it would be lovely just on a sunny day just to get off the Cardigan High Street, go into the castle, and actually just sit on this grass here and have a lovely time. And yeah, all for £6 in a year. So Cardigan Castle, or Cardigan, is supposed to be the birthplace of the Welsh Eisteddfod, which is a kind of arts festival, if you like. I can't speak about it too much because I don't really know a lot about it, but I do know that if someone wins, I think it's like the bardship, and I've just made that word up, but anyway, they get a chair. So this is like a massive chair which you can sit on, but it's so beautifully carved, and as you can see there, it's got a crown there, which I guess is the bardic crown. And then I guess that's a lion, and then on the other hand, on the other side, some kind of fist with a falcon on it. And yeah, very touchingly at the bottom and very poignant at the moment is a little dog at the foot of the chair. Yes, so inside the manor house, it's not really laid out like a kind of house would be. It's a series of galleries and things, but this one was laid out a bit like the kitchen. So it's got this absolutely huge Welsh dresser on, and the ceilings obviously were really tall, so it could accommodate this absolutely massive Welsh dresser with just a load of things on there. And yeah, I would have liked to have taken quite a lot of those things home, but I'm not a criminal, so I didn't. But yeah, it was just really nice to be in there, and just they've spent so much time renovating it. And out of one of the windows, and I feel a bit like a voyeur here because there's a couple of men chatting in the garden, but is that not a garden goal right there? A really lovely vegetable plot. I've got seriously some work to do on our vegetable plot. So anyway, we had lunch at the cafe, and you could eat outside, and there's a balcony, so we sat on the balcony, and I had this, which was a flatbread. This isn't gluten-free, so my husband couldn't have this. So it was a flatbread with falafel in it, and then a couple of salads. So there was couscous, barley, and also some pickled onions there. Then on another day we went to Nevern, which is actually in Pembrokeshire, and this is the Pilgrim's Cross, which was on the pilgrimage route to St David's, and it's a cross carved into the stone. And then afterwards we went to the pub for lunch with our friends and their dogs. This is Judy, and that's Tess in the background, and they were Jess's best mates. So it was lovely to see them, and we stopped off for lunch, which is what we always did. So it was, as you can imagine, slightly difficult, but also really lovely to see everyone. Yeah, I'm so sorry that I sound all kind of cut up, but I think once I've got this video out of the way, I'm sure I'll be much better. So I had steak, which was hickory smoked with, as you can see, chips and salad and things, and it was lovely. Then we went on another day to the Presili Hills, or Presili Mountains, and this is where the blue stones from Stonehenge came from. So we're in Wales, Stonehenge is in England, obviously, and 5,000 years ago, somehow, man or woman, managed to get blue stones from this place to Stonehenge to be part of whatever Stonehenge is, or whatever. The only thing I can say is that up here it is absolutely magical. If you ever get a chance to come to the Preselis, please do, because there is just nothing like it. The atmosphere is just incredible. There are just piles of natural out rocks and things, But there's also stone circles, and it really does have just the most spectacular outlook. And as you can see, the entire landscape is just tumbled with these beautiful, beautiful stones. And this bit here that we're looking at here, as you look out towards, well, I'm not sure exactly where towards, but out into Wales, you can see there into Pembrokeshire, these are where the blue stones have come from. So they're not blue, but they do have a kind of purplish hue about them. But there's definitely something spiritual and special about this place. I don't know what it is. I don't pretend to know anything about what it is, but it is the most lovely place, and I really would recommend just going there. We went there for this walk, and we sat and had our lunch, and it was not a good day for me on the kind of grief scale, but it is a beautiful, beautiful place, and I would highly recommend it. Right, I'm just going to say goodbye now. Thank you and goodbye, and I will see you on my video on Friday. And I'm just going to leave you now with a little bit about Jess. Thank you all for your support. Thank you.